It's now 2:15 on October 6th in Lesvos, Greece, in the village of Skalaskimanias. We had two landings last night, around 5 o'clock in the morning, 10 minutes apart. Total about 50 to 60 people showed up last night. I responded to the second landing, which was 18 adults, 9 children, the youngest of the children being 1-year-old twin boys. They spent 6 hours making the crossing from Turkey because the sea was so high last night and the waves were so strong that anytime they picked up speed, they would be overcome by the waves and the sea. Their boat was actually sinking, so they couldn't afford to go fast, so they had to just ride it slow. Luckily, every single one who was on the boat made it. It was a boat of Syrian refugees with one Iraqi. I went to bed after hanging out with everyone, saying goodbye to the 3 volunteers that were leaving around 2 a.m. And about 5 a.m. I was woken by the camp manager saying that we've had 2 landings and we need extra support. So I got out, went to get ready, hopped on, grabbed the bags that we needed, the equipment that we needed, and hopped in the van to go find them. It took us a little bit of time. They ended up being dropped off about a half an hour from our actual location, and it took us a little while to actually find the exact port where they were dropped off. When we pulled up, I approached them, I introduced myself in Arabic, told them who I was, and I was just handed one of the twin boys who was fast asleep in my arms by one of the refugees. We quickly tried to get them warmed up, blankets, especially the children. We had some cookies to give them for food, water. That's really all we could do. Made sure that there was no one hurt, no one ill. Luckily, everyone was okay. Just really scared. It was a moment, as soon as we got off, it was just like, are they sending us back to Turkey? Where are we going? What's happening? And I don't have that information from them. I can't answer that information. And what I do know is that we waited for the bus. The bus came, picked them up, and took them to Moria detention camp. And they'll be there for the next month. And then the registration process will begin. The twin boys were there with their mother. She was 23 years old. Her husband passed away. She was hoping to go meet her family in Germany. They had tried, this was their second time. Some of them, this was second time trying. This young boy, he was maybe 17 years old. That was his 4th time trying. Every time they would get stopped and turned back by the Coast Guard. Last night they made it through. We don't really know what happened. It's been really quiet the last few days. This is the first landing I had since been here. And I've been here now since Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So now this is my 5th day here. So we went 4 days with no landing, and last night, or early this morning, 5 a.m., we had 2 10 minutes apart. Maybe it's the weather, maybe it's because the last few days the sea's been really calm, the weather's been really good, and throughout the summer it's been a very slow incoming of refugees, and maybe again like just the weather. And now that the sea's picking up, the weather's starting to get bad, they're using that as coverage. Whatever the reasoning is, whatever it may be, we didn't have any a few days ago, and then last night we had 50 people arrive. Moria detention camp was burned down earlier this month or last month. But that's where they take them. That's the detention center, and that's where they stay. Not allowed to leave, not allowed to go anywhere until they could start the registration process for asylum. Most of the people were, there was one large family, maybe it was a large family of about 9 people together. Everyone else was like a small families. There was a husband and wife and their child. There was an older couple, maybe in their 60s. And just all they were saying is like, we were gonna die, like we would have died. The sea was coming. One of the young girls almost fell off the boat and they had to grab her before she fell off. Yeah. So 5 days in, first landing, 50 people arrived altogether between the 2 landings. And in a couple of weeks, the Turkey-EU deal is supposed to expire. Hopefully they can reach an agreement and we can stop this. But a real agreement, not one where you stay in camps and you're stuck there. There's people here who've been on camps for 7+ months. There's people who don't even know, they haven't even started the asylum process yet. Their appointments are not for months. And until then, they're just stuck there. Most have gone through their life savings, don't have anything, and and they can't work. Refugees can't work, they can't do anything, so. Yeah, that's where we are right now.